Thank you for joining us, Heather, and we want to start off by talking to you about what motivated you to get into the oil and gas industry and what keeps you here.
I'm actually first generation oil and gas in my family, so I didn't have someone pushing me into the industry. And in fact, I started at Chesapeake in 2004, and my intent was to stay there temporarily until I saved up enough money to go to law school. But right after I got started, I was pretty overwhelmed with what I didn't know, and so I set a goal for myself to reach out to people in every department and start inviting them to lunch and learning about what they did. And before I even realized it, I completely fell in love with the industry and have been here ever since. What keeps me here is I'm an avid user of energy and understand its uses across all industries and across the globe. So it's important to me to be a part of staying in energy and promoting America's energy independence. And I thrive in an entrepreneurial type role, so oil and gas has always been a really good fit for me.
Can you talk to us a little bit about, the trying times, of course, with oil and gas, up and down, if you will, with the industry, very resilient industry as well. Can you share any of Ventana's really current business focus, anything that really keeps you guys strong that you would like to share with us?
Ventana started about 3.5 years ago, and our focus when we got started was buying 1 mineral acre and 1 lease at a time organically. But as you know, things have changed and there's a lot more financial strain in the economy. So we really look at it as opportunities will come up as there's going to be consolidations with companies. So we look to that. Also, we consider ourselves to be experts in fine-tuning the non-op business. So we don't ever want to compete with EOG or Marathon or Devon to be operators. We'd rather partner with those companies, and then as they're optimizing their portfolios and divesting non-core assets, that could be a really great fit for Ventana. So we like to work with them, but we're very committed to Oklahoma and the great operators in our state.
Great, thank you for sharing that with us. What about a significant career milestone? Do you have one you can pinpoint for us?
Sure, yeah, I think all milestones and hurdles that we go through lead us to where we are. But being able to present Ventana's business plan to multiple billionaires and prestigious fund managers is no doubt a really cool experience that I had at 34 years old. And then ultimately getting funded by Starwood Capital Equity Group Investments and then the Virginia Tech Foundation was pretty big. But hopefully we have more milestones to talk about soon about that.
And can you share with us any risk or challenge that you've faced as a woman in the industry? We know a lot has changed, moving forward, but do you have any particular story you'd like to share in that area?
I'm pretty thankful that I've always felt like I've been one of the guys on every team I've worked on, but I will say a challenging time was being pregnant. Especially with twins. I have twin babies, so you're not really one of the guys when you're doing something that guys can't do. It's a little different. So I think that was difficult, and having to have multiple conversations about, am I coming back to work after maternity leave? How long would I be gone on maternity leave? Was I sure I could do my job after I had a baby? I remember being interviewed for a position at one point, and towards the end of the interview, I was offered a position in a different group in a support role due to my family obligations. And I politely thanked them for their time and declined the job, but I, to this day, have never heard of a man being asked if he was going to come back to work after he had a baby, or if while he's coaching the soccer team, if he was going to be able to meet his job expectations. So we still have some work to do, but I think what Hart's doing, what Jill Lampert is doing with NGP, with the Women in Energy Network, is no doubt going to help. But we still have a little ways to go.
And kind of expanding on that, do you have advice for younger professionals really maybe trying to find their place in the industry, women in particular as well?
I always tell younger people that they absolutely need to study economics. I wish I could call the 25-year-old me and tell her the things that she needs to know. It's absolutely essential in whatever industry you go into to understand how many widgets you need to sell to turn a profit. So that's excellent advice. And then I think bottom line is, how can you create more value than you cost the company? How can you become indispensable? And to always value everybody on the team and don't get so egocentric that you think you're the only guy, because it really does take a village to have a healthy company.
And what about a little bit along the lines of advice, but what about mentors? How important do you think mentors are in the industry, Heather?
Oh, mentors are absolutely essential. I think arguably my network is the most important thing that I bring to my career, and it all started out with back in 2004 at Chesapeake of reaching out to people in different disciplines, and as that grew I started reaching out to people outside of Chesapeake into other companies and growing, and they all ended up becoming mentors. So I always tell people, the new young people that are intimidated or people that are more introverted, just reach out to one person. Start with one. If you want to learn more about geology, reach out to a geologist, invite them to lunch or coffee. Absolutely everyone loves free food. And what I found is that people passionate about what they do are really happy to share what they know with you. And another important piece of information I think that I've learned recently is don't reach a career milestone, say CEO title or 20 years of experience, and think I don't need mentors anymore. So the past couple of years I've added financial experts and CFOs and public relations gurus. So I think always valuing your network and growing those relationships, and then when the time comes to be a mentor to young people as well.
And with being chosen as part of this dynamic group of women, the 25 Influential Women in Energy, how does that make you feel? And then also, how important do you think programs like this are for the industry?
Oh gosh, it's extremely humbling to be recognized with the past and current recipients of this award. There's some incredible women, and last year I was blown away sitting at the luncheon at what these women have done in their careers. I have 4 kids, and 3 of those are girls. So it's really important to me to show my children what hard work and strong character that it really actually pays off. I think HEART does an incredible job of recognizing individuals and companies across the industry. So I think events like this will bring much more awareness to what women are actually doing and creating more diversity in the workplace.
Thank you very much, Heather. Thank you for sharing your story, and congratulations on this well-deserved honor.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. And for HEART Energy, I'm Jessica Morales.